Hello. Well, I am doing this video for those of you who will have issues while the live is going on. If you're watching on your mobile phone, right, so you can see there is a gear on your top right hand side. Press on the gear and you will see that there is quality, right? So you quality, playback, speed, captions and so on. Press on quality, choose advanced setting and choose the highest 720p. Another way that you can do, but you will use more of your mobile data, is again go on the gear, press quality, go to higher picture quality. If you're at home and you're using Wi-Fi, you might want to use that. So hopefully it will help those who come to watch live but find that the picture quality is not clear, right? And it's not sharp. Thank you.
Hi everyone, you see us again for the third episode, okay, part 3, gap tags. I hope everybody has enough rest, okay, with lunch and then okay, a little bit of notes revision before we begin with our third part of gap tags. I think I know everybody realize this is the hardest part because it can be easy, it can be confusing, and there are a lot of distractors in the options given. Okay, the fact that we only need to choose 4, 5, 6. Am I right, doctor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to choose 6
out of 8.
6 gaps out of 8, and then we have 3. No, we have 1, 2, 3,
Extra
4.
2.
Yeah, extra 2 distractors. So this is the difficult one. Okay, so today let us hear some of the strategies that might help all of you, including me. Okay, there you are.
Yeah, Selina, I think after lunch, right? Okay, our mind are all tired. I think everyone is also tired. Some of them would have just got back from school, the Form 5, right? After having extra classes in school, because a lot of schools are doing, the last revision, sharing and everything as much as they could with every single week, I'm sure. Okay, so I hope everyone is doing well. Everyone is fine. Say hi, say whatever, so that we know that you are listening. We are here to support you in any ways. All right. In the comment box later, in the comment, not in the chat, in the comment box later, I will share the Google form link, actually, to find out if any one of you are interested for me to have like a last minute lesson somewhere in January, because your English paper is on January 6th. So you might choose, I have put in the Google form, you can choose the dates. I gave 2 dates only, either a Friday after the BM paper. BM paper is on Thursday, or a Monday before the English paper, and what skills you want to, hi Shafiq, what you want to actually me to focus on, because I wouldn't be doing like this again. It will be very focused. It's that time for you to suddenly, when you are revising anything to do with reading and writing, because by that time you would have really done your listening and your speaking. All right, so the Google form is to get feedback. If no one needs it, I would not do any last minute revision on YouTube Live. Okay, hi Josh, welcome. All right, Josh is also a friend of ours. So glad to see. Hi Putri. Hi. Okay, so for everyone's knowledge, sometimes you will hear Puan Haslina and I like silent for a while. It's because it has been a delayed telecast to you. So we have to wait for your response. And sometimes if we don't wait, we will be making up stories, not making up stories, talking stories, saying stories while waiting for your answers. So that is for you to know. I would like also to thank SMK Ulu Kelang again for having this collaboration with PPD Gombak to have this live for actually not only for Gombak students but for students anywhere in Malaysia. All right. Okay. So let's start. Okay. Feel free to ask questions. Don't feel shy. No one is judging you here. All right. I see so many people. Hi, Zulaika. All right. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Okay, let's see. Okay, this what has happened today. So in the morning, we had part 1 and 3. We have finished doing. Those who didn't attend, you can watch the replay. Then we did part 2 during the lunch hour. It was a short session. We didn't even reach 1 p.m. And then now we are doing part 4. And then later at 5, we will be doing part 5. Okay. All right. So, just to remind everyone, the reading skills you need to ensure you are successful in completing a reading task. We have done this earlier just now in part 1 and 3 as reading for main ideas, skimming, scanning, reading for specific details and information, guessing meaning of unknown words, predicting, which we found it in part 3 where we had to predict the meaning of words. We also do, we might also have done predictions when we were doing uh, just now part 2, close text. All right. And then tone, attitude, and opinion, and definitely grammar skills. And we need more of this. I think we need all of this, and maybe except for tone, attitude, and opinion, um, for gap text, because we are really analyzing a text from so many different, uh, using different skills. Okay, so it's 6 marks. Okay, let's see. As usual, you know my steps by now. Hi, Salina, how are you? All right, and then um, we are going to step 1. Everybody who has followed my session from the beginning today, you know my step 1 is always read the instruction. Okay, because we don't know, suddenly they will say, they're giving more choices, and then you got extra 3. We do not know. So please read the instruction. Now you have to skim the text first. So I showed an example of how you skim for part 3 in the first session, where you only read the first sentence and the last sentence of every paragraph. If it's a very long paragraph, what you do is you read the whole paragraph of the first paragraph and the last paragraph to really actually get a gist of what the whole text is about. We cannot just immediately jump into the text and start analyzing, because we do not want anyone, including ourselves, to get into what is this text about. We get an idea, then we know what to really look for when we need to fill in the gap. Hi, Amirul. All right. So then, when you already get an idea what the text is about, then you start reading the 8 provided sentences and underline keywords. Don't underline all the keywords. Arabiato, okay? Like just now Puan Haslina was saying, especially those who are not very good in the language tend to underline every single word. You can't. Okay, I will show you what are important words if it appears in the options, the 8 options. And then now you start scanning the text, because you actually want to get into details. What are you actually looking for? So you may want to start underlining the main ideas in each paragraph. Okay, so what you do is usually you look for keywords from the sentences before and after the gap. It will give you an idea what you need to look for to fill in the gap. And then you must also make sure that it has relation with the sentence before and the sentence after, is that if there is a sentence after. If it is the last sentence, it's even harder because your sentence might be the concluding sentence for that paragraph.
Mm.
And then you need to choose the sentence that best suits a gap. Now this is where I say you have to look for the sentence before and after, because you need to make sure it's connected. So how do you do that? You need to look for clues. Linkers will be one. The words and phrases used to be another one. If there is a time period given, is another clue. Cause and effect is another one. If there is examples given, contrasting arguments, okay, all kinds of things, the pronouns, the tenses used, all would be clues. This part is where you really need to analyze your text. Okay, this part 4, right? And the last one is, once you have decided which one goes where, which sentence goes into which gap, you have to read the passage again with the chosen sentences to ensure it sounds right. There's a flow, there's a continuity. All right. Oh, a lot of people. Hi, Shazwi, hi, Carl, Farhana, Darisha, Int, Signed. Where are all fabulous names? Okay, some make sense, some doesn't. Okay, all right. Okay. So far, this is how you need to do it. Again, I'm going to repeat for those newcomers. I break steps down into really small detail. These things actually happen at the same time. It doesn't, like when I read instruction, I just read instruction. Those who are proficient in the language, actually you might do step 1 and 2 at the same time, and then you do step 3 very quickly, and then step 4 and 5 will happen more or less the same time. It is not that it is separate from one another. It is going on at the same time, but it is difficult if you don't understand. That is why steps are broken down in this way, so that you see the process of how your brain has to process ways to solve or complete an information gap text. Okay, right? Because some students say, "Wow, it's so many steps. How to finish can?" Because it's not like I read one by one. No, it goes at the same time, sometimes together, right? Okay, just a reminder, because this is what happened, especially with um, weak students, or not weak students, like developing students who are struggling with the language. Okay, please do not word spot, meaning that just because there is a word in the text that has that word, and then in the 8 sentences, one of it has that word, then you say, oh, that is the answer. So that is assuming that if the same word, name, date appears in the surrounding text, one of the options, then automatically that is the right sentence. Please do not word spot. Even if you think that is the answer, you need to check other parts of the text to see whether that is the answer. Okay. So far, any questions? Hi, Alip. Hi, Yalish. Sorry, must be Indian. Okay. I'm just making up with all these fantastic names they have. All right, because I don't think our time we all were that creative with names. Okay, we had Kimi. Maybe Kimi wants to be Kimi Raikkonen, but he became Kimi Arif. Okay, Naufal, Navita. Hi, Navita. No questions. Okay, Navita is such a good student. Ask and she will die. I hope it's she. If I'm wrong, correct me. Okay, so step 1, read the instruction. You are going to read an article on maintaining students' mental well-being. Okay, 6 sentences have been removed from the article. Choose from the sentences A to H, the one which fits each gap 27 to 32. There are 2 extra sentences which you do not need to use. All right. Earlier when we did part 2, I chose artificial intelligence, something that is very relatable to all of the Form 5. Okay. And this time I also chose something that I think is the famous topic that everyone is talking about. Okay, mental well-being, regardless of your age, how to maintain your well-being of your mental. All right. And students of Form 5, I know it's difficult because of the pressure they are in, okay? I'm sure Haslina agrees, right? Some students just can't take the pressure.
It's just
So,
too much to digest at this time.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
the cause of it.
Yeah, and also in today's world where social media is one way contributing to mental well-being, because it's easier to compare, whereas during our time, Haslina, it's very hard to compare because we don't have any media to compare ourselves to anyone. We are just basically in our own bubble and among our friends who are more
Mm,
or less like us. Okay,
mhm.
so they are living in a very tough world, but they have such a tough mental state to survive in today's world.
Correct.
Okay, let's see. Let's see how to do this. Skim the passage carefully. All right, skim means read quickly. I am not doing the whole passage again. I'm just giving you a gist, okay, or a snippet of the art task, because if not, it'll be a very long life, okay, that we're going to do. It's taking care of your mental well-being during your preparation for exam. I think it's so apt, the topic, right? You're all preparing for your exams, and you know how to take care. Okay, so when you want to skim, okay, so Haslina, you want to share how you teach skimming to your students?
Usually, what I ask them to do would be like, I do not want them. I do not want them to overwhelm themselves by straight away reading
Mm-hmm.
from paragraph one until the end of it. So I just ask them first to straight away read the sentence that contains the gap. So I want them to focus on the sentence before the gap and after the gap. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I ask them to focus on the idea. I ask them to find the focus idea in that sentence. For instance, if let's say for gap number 27, right? So the first sentence would be, while moderate caffeine consumption can help combat fatigue, large amounts of caffeine can cause anxiety, insomnia, fast heart rate, and digestive problem. I ask them to underline the focus is caffeine consumption.
Mm-hmm.
Underline that idea, and then if and then the explanation at the end there might also is also important. For instance, that is the example. That's what I ask them to do. Always link the idea before and after the gap. I
All
ask them
right.
to do that. Uh-huh.
All right. Thank you, Haslina. So let's see. So for you to skim, this is what I said. You just look at the first sentence and the last sentence. 27, I didn't underline anything because that's the last sentence, right?
Mm,
So we have to know that this might be the concluding
mm,
idea for that paragraph, right? So the first one is, our mental health can suffer if we simply focus on academic performance during the intensive SPM revision period without self-care. So here are a few suggestions to help you enhance your mental well-being. So the first sentence tell me that students do not have self-care; they just focus on learning. So it ends with saying that they are giving suggestions on how to enhance the mental well-being. So the
mm,
first sentence in the second paragraph talks about studying late into the night, because
mm,
students are having so much workload that is often not being able to be avoidable during the SPM revision. So I know that paragraph is talking about students staying up late at night because they got a lot of workload. I am not going to details yet because I'm just skimming. So the third paragraph, when you are anxious, you may feel compelled to consume sweet, high calorie foods because you want the temporary relief. But there is an effect. Okay, an increasing reliance on sugar has been related to depression. I did
mm,
not underline the last one because that would be like underlining the whole paragraph. Okay, so sometimes I pick and choose which one I need more. So in paragraph 3, I only wanted to look and understand that it's about when we are stressful, we tend to eat something sweeter, because sweet will give us certain kinds of hormone that make us feel happy for a while. But at the same time, if you eat too much, it can be relate it will relate to depression and we might get depressed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you get an idea. It's actually about how to take care of your mental being. One, in your preparation, and then you stay up late because of a lot of workload, and then you want to eat extra sweet food because you want to get that temporary relief, right? So I get an idea what is it about. So you have to do that for the whole text. I'm just showing an example. Now
Mm.
what I'm going to do is the eight. I've given all the eight because it shows what you need to what are the distractors that would maybe stop you from getting the right answer. But I think this is quite a simple one. uh, Maybe your SPM you may because there are some years SPM questions quite easy, the information gap certain years is quite tough. All right, so as usual you can read the eight provided sentences. As you're reading it, please just everyone watching just share what are the keywords you would have underlined in all A, in B, in C, D, E, F, G, and H, so that Puan Haslina and I can give comments, all right, on what you have chosen. Okay. Uh, this is the part usually, Puan Haslina, I spend a long time with my students. We are analyzing a lot of stuff in A to H
Mm.
because once you analyze and understand the sentences well, actually it's easy to find which is the missing sentence in the gap, right? Okay, so
I find it helpful for us to actually identify the ideas in the gap first, and then followed by identifying the ideas in the sentences or the statements. Because I once, do it reversely. I
mhm.
underline all the keywords, in the sentences, the statements given. I find it very chaotic.
Okay,
I find
all
it very
right,
chaotic. I believe some of the students may also do the same thing what I did.
okay. So we had Siti Rialul, who, thank you, Siti, and Navita, who has been with us since the first session.
Morning. Yeah.
Yeah, since the first session in the morning at 10. Okay, all right. So Siti says figure out and works best for you for A. Nivita has done A and B, figure out best for you. And B, better refrain consuming. And then Alip has said YB, yang berhormat Alip. Wow, takut saya. Okay, better to refrain. Okay, anyone else wants to share about C, D? Keep it coming. We like to see your answers. All right, and then Siti has gone to say hands. Very good. I to catch hands. Refrain from consuming coffee. Okay. What else? Any more? The rest are all keeping quiet, waiting or thinking. All right. So consequently, good catch. Consequently, academic increase. All right. What else? Wow, Nivita has come up with many. Good. C, consequently, academic performance increase. Good. D, advisable, caffeine intake, low to moderate amount. All right. All right, Siti has continued with C, consequently, academic performance increased. Okay, I'll wait for a few more seconds before I just show what I have underlined. Because when you do this, actually, you are doing it quite fast, right? Because as you are reading it, you will just highlight, right? Siti Nur Amira, thank you for your answers. Nothing like for E, nothing like good night sleep, help, increase memory power. Okay. All right. And then you have some guy high every time, create, that's for F, every time, create, goal, achieve. Okay. All right. Let's see what I have done. Okay. You can see there are two different colors
Mm.
because the red one are linkers or reference pronoun that actually give us clues on what it would be. Okay. The blue one are just keywords that would help me remember these are the information in the sentence. So the key is also actually the word the key. The key is one definite tip to figure out what works best for you. Wait, I've seen someone sharing. Um, Shafiq says so advisable for D caffeine intake low moderate, and Alip says as a result replacing better you. Fabulous. Every one of you are doing great. Okay, giving us answers. Awesome. Okay, so be hence. Hence means it's like thus, therefore. Okay, same meaning. So hence it is better refrain consuming coffee. So if I look at the word hence, it tells me that the sentence before that might be saying something bad about consuming coffee. Therefore, it is better to refrain. Okay, C, consequently, your academic performance will increase. Consequently is like, therefore, so the effect of what happens after you do something, all right, your academic performance will increase. D, so advisable caffeine intake low, moderate. So I noticed that B and D talks about coffee, all right,
Right?
if you realize, okay, caffeine intake low, moderate, and then E, good night sleep help increase memory power. Right? So this one talking about having good sleep at night. Every time you study, you create a goal of what you want to achieve. This one tells me something about when you are sitting down to study, maybe you need to have a mission, an aim, okay, to achieve. G, as a result, is also another way to say an effect. Effect of replacing sugary treats with healthy food, better for you in the long run. Okay, and H, start putting them. The word them, I put it red because what does them refer to? It must have something stated before that, so that when they say in this sentence, you know what them refers to. So these are clues that you need to highlight because you can't just see the words and say this is the answer. All right, them is called a reference pronoun. Okay, meaning like I said, I saw a group of people doing something. Okay, and then I will say one of them. The next sentence I say one of them is my best friend. Then that them refers to the group of people that we saw earlier. Okay, so this is how I actually teach my students. I think Puan Haslina, I think more or less the same.
Yes, it's true.
Okay, because I think this is the only way we can help our students. Okay,
Yeah.
all
The
right.
funny thing is, right, doctor, when I ask my students, what does them refer to instead of referring me to an information, they ended up translating it for me.
You have to know what them refers to, the sentence before that. What are they implying? Who are
Yeah.
they referring to? So that's why it's called a reference pronoun.
Mm.
Okay, all right, let's continue. Okay, so now what you need to do is you already know the 8 sentences. So you need to identify the main idea in each paragraph. Look for the keywords from the sentences before and after. Underline them or highlight them. All right. So this is what I've came up. The blue one was what I have underlined as when I was skimming. Skimming. Now we are scanning.
Mm.
Okay, so usually when I'm looking for answers, the paragraph one has no blank, so I will just not really go into detail about that, but I'll start going into detail in paragraph two. So let's all look at paragraph two, okay, where it says that studying late into the night to keep up with the workload is often unavoidable during the SPM revision period. Some students resort to drinking enormous amounts of coffee to stay awake. Now, while moderate caffeine consumption can help combat fatigue, large amounts of caffeine can cause anxiety, insomnia, fast heart rate, and digestive problems. So, what would be a good concluding statement there for that paragraph, right? That's what we have to figure out. In the third paragraph, when you are anxious, you may feel compelled to consume sweet, high calorie foods because they provide temporary relief, but an increasing reliance on sugar has been related to depression. We don't know what information is there, but then they give you examples of food. Salmon, dark chocolate, kimchi. Wow, I've never tried kimchi. I don't know how it tastes like, but I know a lot of students love kimchi. All right, berries and bananas are all excellent source of happiness. So these are all the food that give us happiness instead of consuming a lot of sugar. That's what I understand from there. So once you have done that, all right, you have to choose the best sentence to suit the gap. So you look for the clues. So let's look at 27, everybody. And we are looking at 27. Okay, all right. So what are the clues that you would want to underline first in the text before you choose the answer? I'll give an example so that 28 everyone can do. Like for me, I look at amounts of caffeine. Just like Puan Haslina said just now, the word caffeine, large amounts of caffeine would be the keyword or the key phrase that will help her identify what she needs to look for, right? So once you see it's large amounts of caffeine that can give us these negative problems, causing anxiety, insomnia, our heartbeat goes faster, and we also will have digestive problems. What answers in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are the clues that would give us about caffeine. Anything about caffeine or coffee that we have in the answers, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. For Haslina also be reading, wondering what would be the best answer. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Siti. She says B and D. Yes, very good. Haikal says, yeah, there is an answer D. All right.
There
Okay,
are
you
two
say D,
statements
but
related
what
to
I,
coffee.
correct. Because what I'm looking for is the word coffee and the word caffeine, which has the same meaning, right? But we have to now look at, all right, you look at coffee and you look at caffeine. Now you got two answers because the rest don't have anything about caffeine or coffee, right? C says your academic performance will increase consequently. This one it's not talking about anything about academic performance or what must you do. He's talking about staying awake and doing a lot of work because you have to stay awake. So which one would be better, B or D? And give your reason why. Okay,
Nivita
Nivita.
has given.
Okay, I think the answer is B because in the answer it mentions that advisable caffeine low to moderate amount. I'm very curious to know, Nivita is from which district? I don't need the school lah. Nanti this one ask for school. What district are you from, Nivita? Or what state are you from? Shafiq says D. But Shafiq, I want to know why D. Amin says caffeine intake low, moderate. Which answer is it, Amin? B or D? Okay. Yang berhormat is saying that it is D. They have a yang berhormat among our
YB.
YB. Okay. All right. Nivita. Selangor, Ulu Langat. Ulu Langat is my place lah. Ulu Langat, I'm also in Ulu Langat. So Navita drop by and say hi to me. Where Ulu Langat, you find out lah. I also don't know where. Okay, some guys say D due to the large amount of caffeine, while B mentions not drinking coffee altogether. All right, so Amin says G. I'm sure Navita is not in the same school as I am, right? Definitely not. Okay, right. Okay, let's look. Okay, I don't think I have given the answer. Let's go on to 28. Did I give the answer? When I click next, then we know whether the answer is out or not. Look at 28. 28, right? The blank there. What word or phrases would you underline in the sentence before or after that you think would be important to help you get the answer for 28? Like I did just now, I underlined large amounts of caffeine. What would you all underline 4:28.
Some guys say reliance, sugar, temporary relief, also depression.
Yeah, I think some guy, he likes the word depression too much. Okay, I think the answer is B because the conjunction hence shows that the sentence before should mention about bad or mention about bad about can we oh okay. I like that. I like when students answer us this way, right? Don't you? When they say I
Yes,
think the
yes,
answer is B because blah blah blah.
Ah,
Yeah. All right.
mm.
Yang berhormat say reliance on sugar and depression. Okay. 28 consume temporary. Okay, let's see. Did I underline? Yes. Very good. I underline reliance on sugar. Okay, the reliance on sugar is very important related to depression. Okay. All right. So, Navita, okay, fine. All right. Yang berhormat, yes. Thank you. Okay. So, based on this reliance on sugar, I already went to somewhere else. Reliance on sugar. Yeah, I have too many tabs on. Reliance on sugar. So what I want to know now is what answers here that you have that talks about reliance on sugar. Answer A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, everyone. Okay. Alip says G. Any other answers that has reliance on sugar, something to do with sugar? No. Okay, Sydney. Okay, Haika, I'm very, I mean, I'm very inquisitive to know why you have H, Haika. Why H, Haika? It's very interesting that you are one of them who said G and H. Can I know, Haika, if you don't mind sharing with us, why do you think it's G and H? Putra says G. Any more?
Hmm.
Nobody. Anybody giving any more? All giving Haika is not saying anything. Haika said, I don't want to answer. But I'm wondering why Haika you said you must be a reason why you said that.
I think maybe because he sees each as logical to link to the idea of depression.
Okay.
The way I look at it, that stressful in each as related to depression.
Mm.
Hmm.
Okay. So I see the teacher is the one who's helping. That's what we do, right? Our job.
Yeah.
Once a teacher, always a teacher trying to justify why our students are giving us such answers. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Thank you, Haikal. Wait, I'm trying to do something. I don't know whether it will appear because I'm doing so many things at the same time. Hold on, everyone. The link, if you cannot go, you have to copy the whole thing and then see whether it works. I don't know whether it will come out there or not. Okay. 25. Why got go reply? Okay, Haikal says this. All right, you're welcome. Haikal, okay, it's nice to have students like you around. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you have replacing, talking about replacing. Okay, sugary treats. The word sugary is here. All right, so now, since I didn't give you the whole text, So it looks like so easy. Sometimes, all of you need to learn to not bother about the other parts, do part by part, because it makes it easier. Because when you look at the whole part and then you look at below and then above 27 and you look at 30, you get complicated. So when you have like this small, it's easier for you to identify what your answers. All right. So number 27, what you think the answer would be?
27. Are you asking me?
No, I'm asking the students. You also can try, eh? You can try, no problem, because you didn't do you didn't do this. I did it, so I would know the answer.
Oh,
It'd
for
be
number
interesting to know what your answer would be.
for number 27, I chose D.
Okay, for number 27, you chose D because I'm.
Because
Mm,
because I believe it deals with caffeine intake.
mm,
Mm.
right. Because the sentence before that talks about large amounts of caffeine, right?
Mm.
That makes you have anxiety, insomnia. So they are not telling you not to take coffee, right?
Yeah.
They are saying that maybe you should take less coffee,
Mm.
because in B, the keyword refrain means don't take at all.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's where you have to be careful when you are reading. One says refrain, one says take some amount but don't take too much.
Mm.
Okay, so you choose the answer. So you have D. You're right. Okay, everyone has given the answer for some guy has given his answer also. Uh, where is some guy? Yeah, it's not appearing here. I don't know why.
Mm.
Um, he's given the
Alif
answer.
Alif and Evita are giving their answers
Yeah,
for number 28.
yes. Right. Okay. Right. I don't know why is it not appearing suddenly. I'm still live, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
correct. You're asking.
Yeah, but it's not appearing here. Wondering why.
Mm.
Because it stops until what Navita says, 28. Or is it above? Okay. All right. Let's go on. Okay. Looks like we're going to start our next session very fast. Okay. G. So all of you got that right. G. G because as a result, because when you rely so much on the sugar, as a result, it is better for you to replace with healthy food. What are the healthy food? Then he give you an example of the healthy food, which is all that's written there: almond, dark chocolate, bananas. These are excellent source of happiness. So this would be why the answer would then be G. All right, then when you do your the remaining four more, you do the same thing. Then it would help you. Okay? All right. Any questions so far? Nobody wants to say ask any question? No? Sure? No, Okay, so don't forget, you read the whole thing in your head and see whether it sounds right, it flows well, it has continuity, or suddenly you find that, oh, it's stuck. It doesn't sound right. Then you might want to change the answer and check again. Okay? Right. So, anything that you want to ask, as usual, I will ask, you want to ask, and anything you want to share the tips, whether the tips is helpful, whether you think that it has helped you better or it has complicated it further for you. Any feedback is good feedback, because as teachers, you are our clients, and when you give us feedback, it makes us think, okay, if this is difficult for our students, what other ways can we help all of you? So anything that you all want to share? I think Hasina, you do exactly how I do in a classroom, I think.
Yeah.
Mm. The rest, please share with us your any questions you want to ask regarding reading. Because usually when I do live, reading will be one of the skills that people do not have a lot of question, because it's objective. Everyone thinks that they can just choose. when it comes to speaking and writing, wow, the amount of questions I get, oh, it'll be plenty, because if they don't know the answer, they can't answer.
Mm. Usually, the two distractors, Dr. Ila,
Mm-hmm.
are related to the topic or not. What I notice
The,
is not
the,
related.
the distractors usually are related to the topic, but they don't make sense to be in the sentence. They
Oh,
mean
okay.
the text. They
Mm.
won't have one that is totally out of it.
Mm.
They won't
Okay.
have that is totally, oh, nothing to do with the text. They know, or the theme. They would have something to do with the topic, something that it distracts students from finding the correct answer. But the
Mm-hmm.
students must be very alert of all the minor details, like them, the word consequently, the linkers,
Mm-hmm.
the minor details that they might sometimes not even look at, because they think it's not important. But that one small word would be the reason why it is or it's not an answer.
Mm.
I think when
True.
I do it when there's exams going on and I'm in the class while the students are doing English papers, especially paper one, I will actually sit down and do it at the same time,
Me
because I
too.
also don't know, I don't have the answer scheme. And it's very
Mm.
interesting how we get the answer, and then suddenly when we get the answer scheme and we realize that we get the answer wrong for information gap for one or two of it, and then we
Correct.
analyze again and realize we ourselves didn't look into the small details, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why we got it wrong, right? And then when we explain to our students, we are able to highlight why that is the answer and not the other answer.
Because some of the distractors, if you are not that careful, it looks logically fitted.
Exactly, it does.
Mm.
Mm. Okay, since everyone is quiet, okay, so I think good luck for your part four. We will see you in, give us 10 minutes. We'll see you in 10 minutes, because last time I did this, it finished in exactly 30 minutes. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so see you all soon in part five. All right, take care and bye bye.